From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, February the 8th, 2023. Rescue efforts continue in Turkey and Syria after the devastating earthquakes that struck the countries, the death toll from which now surpasses 11,000. Rescuers from 30 countries around the world, including Israel, racing against time to find survivors. Overnight last night, the IDF search and rescue team successfully pulled 4 Turkish civilians from the rubble and today helped rescue a 2-year-old boy and then a 15-year-old girl in long and complex rescue operations. The head of the Israeli aid delegation, Colonel Golan Vach, said Israel has the second largest team on the ground after Azerbaijan, and it has conducted the highest number of rescues so far. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke to Vach today, telling him, "You are carrying out a humanitarian mission of the highest order and are bringing much honor to us and the state of Israel and are showing Israel's true face to the world." Netanyahu saying, "Do what you can to save lives and be careful." An IDF medical aid delegation arrived in Turkey today to establish a field hospital in the disaster-stricken areas, setting up to begin providing medical treatment as early as tonight. And more Jewish organizations have opened relief funds for the victims of the Quakes. B'nai B'rith International opening its disaster and emergency relief fund to support those affected by the devastating earthquakes. And the American Jewish Committee is partnering with Israel Aid and the Turkish Jewish community to provide emergency help. CEO Ted Deutsch said the Jewish community will continue to stand with those whose lives have been torn apart by this disaster as they embark on the long road to recovery. And 2 minor earthquakes hit Israel, one late last night and then again today. Tremors were felt in parts of the country. The Israeli military's Home Front Command saying the quakes, which measured 3.5 and 3.3 respectively on the Richter scale, did not pose a threat to residents. Prime Minister Netanyahu has asked National Security Council Chairman Tzachi Hanegbi to conduct a situational assessment regarding the country's own earthquake preparedness. Turning now to some other news, protests against Netanyahu's government's planned judicial overhaul continue in Israel. Some 300 IDF veterans and reservists began a 3-day march this morning from Latrun, a famous battle site and IDF memorial outside Jerusalem, to the Supreme Court in the capital, in protest. And protest leaders have called for a nationwide workers' strike this coming Monday against the planned overhaul. The Times of Israel reports that the first reading of the proposed legislation will likely take place on Monday afternoon, likely with few changes. Chair of the Constitution, Law and Justice Committee, Simcha Rothman, was cited as saying, "I think the correct time to put changes in is in preparation for the second reading." The United Nations will hold an event tomorrow, Thursday, on globalizing efforts to combat anti-Semitism, with government officials, UN representatives, community leaders, and more on the trend, the UN website reads, of rising anti-Semitism around the world and how to confront it. The AJC's Ted Deutsch is among the participants, as well as U.S. Special Envoy to Monitor and Combat Anti-Semitism, Ambassador Deborah Lipstadt, and Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff. Hosted by the U.S. mission to the United Nations and the permanent missions of Argentina, Canada, Israel, Morocco, and the United Kingdom to the UN. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Wednesday, February the 8th. At 7 o'clock, it's Talmud Study. At 7:30, Dani Shapiro talks about her memoir, Devotion. At 8, Robert Siegel speaks with Dr. Kenneth Offit, Dr. Susan Domchek, and Dr. David Margel, leading medical experts in BRCA gene research. At 9, it's L'Chaim with Fauda star Lioa Raz. At 10, Matti Friedman and Mijal Bitton discuss the secret role of Mizrahi spies. And coming up next, it's Thinking Out Loud. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, February the 8th, 2023. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.